I love snowflakes. They're such a beautiful design and they're my inspiration for today's look. So what you're going to need are a white face paint cream, 3 shades of blue eyeshadow. I've gone for a deep blue, a medium blue and a light blue. Some white eyeshadow, some silver glitter eyeliner, some body glitter and some tiny stars to finish off the look. The 3 main brush tools you'll need is a big powder brush, a small flat eyeshadow brush and an art brush, any will do, and a sponge to put the white cream on. So let's get started. We'll take our sponge, dip it in the white cream, get a good amount and start on the outer corner of the eye. Lightly brushing through the eyebrow, then up to the forehead and down to the cheek. We're only using this half of the face, so we're going to blend it all the way to the inner corner of the eye as well and smoothing out all the edges. Now we'll be going all down the hairline. Just remember to push your hair back so you don't get any in your beautiful hair. And when you're happy with that, move on to the next step. We're doing a light coating of white all over the face, especially over the eye, as it may crease. Now it's time for the snowflake. I'm just going to dip into my dark eyeshadow, tap off the excess, and do a straight horizontal line, starting from the outer corner of the eye, all the way to the hairline. Moving on to the smaller cross now, dipping into the medium blue, tapping off the excess, and doing small brush strokes. A good tip for a steady hand is to hold your pinky out and place it on the face as a resting point. Still with the same blue, but you might need more product, so just tap off again. We're going to do small lines for the snowflake. And with the shape of our brush, you can just lace it down on the face, and it's the perfect size. Dipping into our lightest eyeshadow colour and tapping off the excess, we're just going to do tiny crosses on the short snowflake lines. Now for the fun part. We're going to use glitter for all over the white part of the face. Just use tiny brush strokes to cover all the white part of the face. And you can use as much as you like or as little. With a silver glitter eyeliner, I'm just going to use a little bit on the middle cross of the snowflake as a glue for the stars. With my art brush, I'm just going to grab a few little stars on the end of it and tap where I put that glue. And there you have it, your ice snowflake.
Glass artist is whoever uses the glass as a material, as a medium. So when I make my glass art, I use dentist tool. It's got a little tiny tip on the top, and tip has lots of different shape and size. I use probably about 40 different kind of tips. It's cutting in the glass, and I always loved painting, but I'm not good at it. And now I got my tools to almost like a drawing, but it's cutting drawing. That's what I liked about it. Glass doesn't like to be heated too quickly or get cold too quickly. And when they do, it breaks. The running water keeps the glass cold. I was born in Japan, and because I went to selective high school and just the academic was almost everything and anything. It was no question to be artist from like a normal people like me. So never thought about it. Close to my house, there was a public access glass studio that I can enroll. So that's where I started. It was just a hobby. I never had any art experience or anything in my life. The time goes by and then start taking different lessons and came to this engraving at school. When you concentrate what you want to learn, you learn very quickly. From there, I just found love. The mistake is always a hard one for anybody. It's a bit heartbreaking. But saying that, it doesn't have to be perfect always. The technique comes later. You can learn how to do things. You can do anything to find out how to do it. But why do you do it is always important. Why you're creating art, only you can answer it. The mistake is your teacher. Just don't be afraid. That's how I see it. I grew up in a very big city. It's Osaka in Japan. It's a huge town. All you can see is huge buildings and peoples everywhere. So when I moved to Australia, I was so surprised how the trees are big and everywhere. Whenever you move the house, you pull your chair out and you just go sit there and have a cup of tea and you feel like home again. And that's how I engage myself with the little chairs and little trees in my motif. It makes you feel like you're home and safe. That's what I'm trying to create. Whenever people see my artwork, I want them to smile and I want them to say, oh, this is what I want. I love this piece. To cry by yourself is easy, but smile by yourself is not that easy. So I want you to smile and I want you to be happy. My name is Kayo Yokoyama and I'm a glass artist.
I've always liked the different colours and shapes of the planets. And today I'm going to make a mini galaxy, kind of like a snow globe. Let me show you how to make it. The things you need, there's quite a bit, are a jar, some craft glue, some waterproof super glue, glitter, glow-in-the-dark paint, 3 foam balls of different sizes, an astronaut figurine, fishing line, masking tape, a pair of scissors, 2 brushes, a skewer, a Stanley knife, and finally some baby oil. So I'm going to mix an equal amount of glow-in-the-dark paint with super glue, and these are going to be the stars on our jar. Now with a small paintbrush, dot the inside and outside parts of the jar. And have fun with this. Experiment with different size stars, some small ones, some larger ones. You can even do some strokes to look like shooting stars. Now really important, once you're done, place this outside in the sun so the paint can absorb the light. Next step is we're going to make our moon. Grab your largest ball and your Stanley knife. Be careful with this, so grab an adult as well because they're quite sharp, and cut it in half. Okay, we're going to paint our moon. So just grab your skewer, pierce a hole from the base, up through to the top, give it a wiggle, and we're going to feed some fishing line through our moon. This can be a little bit tricky, but take your time, you'll get there. Now tie a knot at the base of the moon and make sure it's really, really secure. And be sure that there's enough fishing line at the top. We're going to cover the moon with a thick layer of craft glue. Once it's completely covered, dip it into your bowl of glitter. You really want to get this completely covered in glitter. Now shake off any excess. Now repeat those steps for your middle-sized ball. Skewer through the center of the ball, completely cover with some craft glue, and then cover that with some glitter. For your smallest ball, cover it with the mixture of glow-in-the-dark paint and super glue. And when you're done, put all your planets to the side and allow them to dry. So the moon and planets have completely dried, but I do have to cover it one more time with the craft glue to make sure the glitter doesn't float off when it's inside the jar. It looks white, but don't worry, it will dry clear. And now repeat with your second planet. All my planets are completely dry. Now I'm going to grab my super glue and attach the moon to the inside part of the lid. Now through the fishing line from the moon through the medium-sized planet, tie a knot and make sure it's really secure. Thread some fishing wire through the smallest ball and attach it to your astronaut, kind of like a backpack. Everything's dry. Now let's check that we have all of our elements. With our lid, with the moon and the planet attached. With our astronaut, with the glow-in-the-dark ball at the back. With our jar, our water and our baby oil. Now let's start adding everything into the jar. Pour in your water first. So we mostly want to fill up the jar with water and then add just a little bit of baby oil. Now this will slow down the glitter inside the galaxy globe as we shake it up. So first we're going to add in the glitter. A few different styles and colours. Next is your astronaut. And then very gently, your lid with the moon and planet attached. You want to screw this in nice and tightly. It's really secure now. Now it's time to flip him over and see how it looks. Now let's take this outside to see if it works.
I'm Scott Marsh and I'm an artist. Here's a few tips when I'm using spray paint in my work. In terms of safety stuff, when spray painting, I always wear a ventilation mask which protects me from the fumes. So nozzles, they come out in all kinds of different shapes and different sizes and can be used for different techniques. So these are the three main nozzles that I use. The first one is a skinny cap. So this is used, the paint comes out quite soft and in a skinny shape. The second is a New Yorker cap. So there's kind of a medium-sized cap, comes out a little bit faster than your skinny cap. Then you have Astro cap, a fat cap. These come out super big, super fast. It's kind of more used for filling in big spaces. So the first thing when using a spray can is give it a good shake for at least 10 seconds. The second thing you want to do is put your nozzle on. So one little tip I like to tell people is if you put a cap on, I'll put a fat cap on this time, but if you turn the cap upside down and just spray it, you'll notice that no paint's coming out, it's just air. If you let a bunch of the air out, that means there's less pressure in the can and the paint comes out a lot slower, and it makes it a lot easier for you guys to do kind of detailed skinny lines and things like that. When you're spray painting, you want to hold it about one spray can length. Hold it too close, it'll be real drippy, like this, and thick. It'll take a long time to dry and you'll get a horrible effect out of it. So you want to kind of hold it back about that area. If you hold it close, it's kind of a sharp line. If you hold it further back, you'll get a fairy line.
I'm here with my friends Buddy and Diego, and today I'm going to show you how to make this stained glass unicorn. So you'll need some sticky tape, scissors, some plastic colourful folders, a craft knife, a ruler, a pencil, some thin card and a cutting mat. Okay, so now it's time to draw our unicorn. Now I'm going to start by mapping out some basic shapes. So I'm actually going to make some circles to begin with, but the end result is going to be this. I'm going to use Buddy and Diego's body as inspiration for my drawing. They don't have a horn, so we're going to have to make that part up. So I'm going to draw like a long, skinny oval with a pointier top and a larger bottom. Now I'll do the little ear section, so do a small round circle for that, just there. And when I look at a horse's face, it's kind of long and it gets skinnier towards the nose. From there, we'll work our way down to the neck, thinner at the top and gets wider as you get towards the horse's shoulders. Because our horse is rearing like this, the shoulders are a triangle on its side. So I think we'll put a little hoof on this one as well. So we'll do a nice long oval like that, and then the hoof can just be like a small little round bit at the end. When you look at a horse, it kind of curves up that kind of shape. Now let's do a big round circle for his bottom. Next, we need to do our horse's back leg. Sort of kicking out this way, and long tail, and then it can kind of be swishing up towards the back. We'll just do a little circle shape for his nose. And there we have it. It's our basic shape of our unicorn. It looks pretty rough, but it doesn't matter because we're never actually going to see these sketchy lines. Now the next step is to join the points of our circle using straight lines. I'm going to get my ruler and draw a straight line from here to here, and we're going to do that all the way around. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just using a ruler to create straight lines from point to point. So just grab your pencil, and I'm just sort of going to go from the top of my circle down to the widest part. It's really just like a big zigzag pattern. Now we're going to go down to the top of his tail, sort of like a lightning bolt shape. So I'm going to draw a straight line down and then across, and down and across again. There we go. So we've mapped out our unicorn shape. Okay, so now it's time to make our windows for our stained glass. So what we're going to do is go around the inside of the outline that we've just drawn. We're going to draw the shapes for our windows. So you can make your border about 0.5 centimetre to 1 centimetre thick. You can measure it out if you want, but I'm just going to do mine freehand. A nice straight line down. And then another one across here. So there's about 0.5 centimetre or 1 centimetre there. And then I'm just sort of here going to try to follow the basic outline. So I'll do a line here. I'll try to leave about 1 centimetre from the last window I've drawn to the next one. And just to make things a little bit easier when we come back in and cut our windows, I'm just going to shade in there so that it's really clear that I'm going to cut that piece out later. Okay, so we've marked our windows out and now it's time to cut them out. Grab your cutting mat because you need something under the cardboard, and your ruler. Now you're going to need an adult for the next step because we're using our craft knife to go back and cut out all of our window shapes. When you're cutting, just make sure you apply a lot of pressure to your ruler so it doesn't slip. So the easiest and safest way to cut is just to keep flipping your card around so that you're always cutting straight lines, and always make sure you're cutting towards yourself. Okay, so last line. There we go. And now it's time to pop it out. So, see how we go. Okay, there we have it, our outline for our unicorn. So your final step is to put the glass in your stained glass windows. Okay, just grab whatever colour you want out of your folders. Okay, so now it's time to add the colour into our stained glass window. So I'll do the horn first. It's only about that big. It needs to overlap the window because we're going to stick it down with tape in a minute. There we go. So that's covered the horn shape, and now I'm just going to grab my sticky tape and stick it down. And there you have it, your stained glass unicorn. What do you think, guys? Diego? Buddy? They're not, not there anymore. They've actually gone. Hi, I'm Ali and you're watching Get Arty. The type of art that I love to make is pretty much collage mixed with a bit of illustration and painting. As far as my training with art goes, I just practiced all the way from when I was a kid. I just drew. For me, it's really therapeutic and I just do it as a hobby. So it's something that I've done almost on a daily basis all of my life. I didn't do it in school once it became optional because I hated being told what I had to draw, so I chose not to do it. It wasn't until I was at university that I received daily training in technical drawing skills. I'm a really impatient person, so the longest I've spent on a piece of work is really only a couple of days as far as a drawing goes, and that's normally when I'm doing a portrait of someone or of an animal just to really get that likeness. I might spend about 4 or 5 days on a drawing, but that's pretty rare.